Imagine you're a caveman. You are about to turn into a man, and your tribe is allowing you to go on your first hunt. This hunt will define whether or not you stay in your tribe or not. If you mess up this hunt, you become exiled, and that means certain death. This anxiety you feel is a biological trait of being scared of being socially outcasted. Because back in those days, if we were to be exiled from our tribe, it means certain death. This is something that social media feeds off of. This is what's known as the fear of missing out, or FOMO for short. I remember when I was still on social media, this was what was keeping me on there. It was this fear of not being part of the tribe, not being part of the community, and scared of missing out on the updates of my friends and family and whatever. And through a long time of not really using these apps anymore, I've noticed a big difference in, first of all, my lifestyle, I guess. It's given me a lot more free time, because when you're on those apps, they're very addictive. They know exactly how to manipulate your brain to want to stay and scroll for longer. So with all that free time, I've actually kind of changed my life a bit. I'm actually a productive human being now, which I wasn't before, honestly. I was one of those kids that would binge watch anime or watch a movie instead of doing my homework. And when I did try doing my homework, I was too distracted to actually do anything of value. It was always half-assed work. It was I could have done better, but I just never pushed myself for that. Because it was impossible to focus. It was you'd be reading something, you read a sentence, you read the next sentence, you've already forgotten the previous sentence that you've just read. Now, this biological tendency we have to fear exile is basically what makes us pursue social validation. It's what gives us so much pleasure when we get validated from other people, when we feel that we're part of a tribe, of a community, when we have friends, when we have people around us that are supportive. And it's normal to seek this validation. It's completely normal, and I think we shouldn't be, judging people for wanting social validation. It's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a very good thing. It's a positive thing. However, I believe that using social media kind of disrupts this natural tendency, in that we get all this criticism from potentially thousands of people, instead of back then, our brain was wired for only 100, 150 tribe members. But nowadays it's more in the thousands, even tens of thousands, depending on whether or not you're posting a lot, I guess, or if the algorithm picks up something, and then it's thousands of people can see something that you've posted, something you've written, something you've put out there, and then all of a sudden it's whoa, how are we supposed to cope when it's criticism, positive or bad? Social media makes us compare ourselves to other people, and this is mostly a bad thing. There are some positives, it's positive to have healthy competition and healthy comparative, but when it's on social media, it's often very skewed. People will post their best moments. They'll post, oh look, I bought a house, I bought a car, I'm more successful than you. But if you keep using these apps, you're going to keep comparing yourself, and that's really negative, because your journey is your journey. It's on your own. Whether or not you're part of a big group, if you're part of a tribe, or if you're just alone, your journey is still yours. It's different. It's different from everyone else's. And if you stay on social media, it's you're going to see someone who's your age and they're doing better than you, and you're going to wonder what you're doing wrong. Why am I not like them? Why am I not as successful as them? And then you start doubting yourself, and then all of a sudden you don't really get successful. You don't feel accomplishment. You don't feel like you're on the right track. Not only that, but it gives you a lot more materialistic desires, things that you didn't actually care about or really want to do with your time. For example, Andrew Tate. Like we all know who Andrew Tate is, and he's actually given a lot of people this kind of false desire for like getting extremely rich. But if you were to become that rich, I don't think it would be worth it, because you'd have to sacrifice other parts of your life. You'd have to sacrifice your relationships or your health, which are also very important. And you know, this big abundance of wealth, it's like you don't really need to drive around in sports cars. Most people don't actually want that. Oh cool, I can get social validation from, you know, driving a fancy sports car, but most people don't actually need this, nor do they actually want it. They just think they want it because they saw someone else have it and they wanted what that person has, but they don't actually want it. And if you like strip down all these like materialistic desires, you'll realize that you actually want something else out of life. And that's obviously going to be different for everyone. But we have like these layers of like desires that aren't really our own, and I think social media has definitely, you know, contributed to that. I believe that we can't really make progress on our journey if we stay on social media. And, you know, I guess you could say that I'm being hypocritical here because I'm literally posting on YouTube, but I feel like that's different from actually sitting down and consuming. Like if you spend an hour a day, well, most people is like, the average is like 7 hours just on social media, on your phone, on your laptop, whatever. If you're spending that time just doing nothing, consuming other people's lifestyles, then it's not going to be positive for you. It would be better if you spent that time allocating it towards building up your own lifestyle, which is something that I hold very dearly, and it's helped quite a lot to not use social media. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you're still making progress towards your goals. I know I am, and I'm very happy about it. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, peace.